Downtown Washington, D.C. is completely boarded up. FBI says it is aware of fake bomb threats to polling locations in several states, many of which appear to originate from Russia. And Laura Trump confirms that RNC has deployed an election monitoring team consisting of 230,000 poll observers and workers, along with 500 attorneys stationed across all battleground states. And unfortunately for Kamala Harris voters, Jim Cramer expects her to win. And if anybody knows Jim Cramer, he is always on the complete opposite side of being right. Now, I almost wasn't able to get a video up to you guys. I'm surprised that I have this small window to actually put something up. And I'm going to talk to the YouTube community as if it was Discord and tell you the best way to go about things in my personal opinion. Nothing I say is financial advice right now in today's video, so make sure to watch it until the end if you want to maximize your chances of making money. Without further ado, like the video, subscribe. Let's get into it. Okay, Michigan is not expecting to have results tonight, as well as some other states. However, that could very well change, and it is better to get into your positions now before the market closes if you are thinking about a longer term play, medium term play that is likely to pan out. However, if you want to play the safer route, election may not find a winner until tomorrow night, whatever, maybe even Thursday, but tomorrow likely, right? Yesterday we said SPY flipped here. We took these puts to the downside, made some profit off of those, and we said we are going to be looking to flip to calls either end of day or the next day in Discord. That's exactly what I called out. And from this bottom, we would have made an absolute monster gain on the SPY, coming all the way down from 568 to 576. And I don't think the SPY is done just yet. If we see any pullback, watch for a base at 573.50. However, I personally just entered calls on the SPY because up until election, I see it at least coming up to 577.80, filling that gap, and likely after the election coming higher. I just see it hitting that level before, maybe a pullback, but ultimately we do not need to see one. Number one, whoever gets elected, this is one money-making opportunity. The S&P 500, I think, is going to pump at least up to $600. And we need to talk about AMC and GameStop because a lot of you guys stopped by this video for that. First of all, if the SPY is melting up after this election, which is likely to be doing, in my personal opinion, AMC and GameStop are going to squeeze or at least have a nice move higher. And that is what we're anticipating. Everything is lining up and looking very well. And there's one thing that we cannot steer from, and it's that even if we already hit the American flag on Roaring Kitty's timeline or we were somewhere else, what to know now is we are at least here. At least. Which means we are at the grand finale. There's eyes, there's fire, there's a crash, there's cheers, and he's out. Fire sale, crash, right? What's happening? Ultimately, what we anticipate is a market melt up, squeezes on GameStop, AMC, other squeeze plays, and then a crash. And GameStop is doing just that. This is another money-making opportunity right now. I am saying GameStop calls at least a month or two out right now, okay? We broke out of this flag, even from a technical standpoint, came back down based on this flag and are curling higher, about to barrel our way back past $23.40. If we get rejected somewhere, we will reevaluate from there. But overall, GameStop I see coming up probably this week to at least $25.30 to potentially that $29 level like we talked about coming after the election. Still, everything is on track. Everything is on par. What else do we have? We have big dogs buying GameStop $40 calls with a 1-month expiration date. Just like I said, whales are doing the same thing that I'm talking about right here. And if you're not ready to play it, don't worry. There are opportunities that present themselves every day if you don't want to take the risk. AMC is trading at $4.40, up 1%. This is what I didn't like, it coming down and breaking below 435, testing that as structural support. I didn't like that, but I like that it held and we're trading at 440. This is the bottom of the parallel channel that it has been trading in, and I expect only upside from here if we see a beautiful cycle. Now, what's so dangerous about that is AMC has earnings tomorrow. This is the exact part of the cycle, and I wish it didn't line up this way for AMC to see an insane move. And the fact that it's on a catalyst where they can kind of push out whatever they want scares me. If we get a nasty sell-off here on AMC, do not be mad at the technicals because we have earnings and you know what they like to do. But ultimately, we could potentially see a gap up, and there's a couple reasons for that. Number one is volume exhaustion. AMC before Q2 2024 earnings was 48.89 million in volume. Volume in Q1 2024 earnings was 44.2 million in volume, and volume before Q3 2024 earnings is only sitting under 3 million in volume. When you see volume exhaustion on a long-term downtrend, it could be potential time for a reversal. Now, there are articles that are already putting out press releases saying that AMC analysts expecting a large drop in earnings per share in Q3 for AMC, all this other stuff. Even though they are expecting some bad things, that's just better, right? That gives more anticipation, more possibility for AMC to blow expectations out of the water, and that is what we are essentially hoping for. Also, just taking a look real quick on the week, we are still winning on the options chain for GameStop, looking beautiful, seeing a little bit of gamma, and I think this is just the beginning of a larger move higher, especially since we are out of that flag. AMC not really looking good on the options chain, but for next week, it's insane. So hopefully we see AMC start to scale to the upside after earnings Wednesday, Thursday, Friday coming into next week, and see a ton of gamma happen to the upside along with the market squeezing. Next week we could see that squeeze move on everything depending on how everything plays out during election. Another money making opportunity. Listen, don't take this as politics, quote unquote. Take this as making money. If Trump wins the presidency, you're likely going to see Bitcoin gap higher, break all-time highs, probably come up to 78K very quick. You're also likely to see Dogecoin come up very quick. You can see Dogecoin recently broke resistance at 16 cents, came up, and now it is building a double top, which is not something that we want to see. We want to see a strong move up to 19 cents, which is what I think we will see if Trump becomes president. Elon backs Trump, Trump backs Elon, and Dogecoin is Elon's daddy, basically. Overall, this is what I see with Bitcoin. I also called out a buying opportunity down here at 67K when we came down to this ascending support trend line. And if you bought there, you would have made some more money on Bitcoin, currently up almost 3%. Another one, DJT got a hard rejection after being up 15%, coming up to $40, getting rejected, coming back down to $35.52. Obviously, if Trump loses, this thing's going to crash back down to sub 21 bucks. If he wins, you could see one maybe last move up to 45 to 53, maybe even 65, since he's going to be in presidency for a long term. But ultimately, I'd expect a crash before, even if he is anticipated to win, so that big money can buy in on this dip, and then you see it start to squeeze higher, right? Something ultimately like this. And then, of course, SMCI reporting earnings tonight, somehow up 5%. They are dealing with a lot right now, and if they blow earnings out of the water, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a gap up all the way to $33, a huge percentage gain. I also wouldn't be equally as surprised if we see a gap down to 18 bucks or so. Keep in mind, guidance is probably going to be bad. They are in waters of delisting, but maybe they come out and say, hey, we have this coming so that we will not get delisted, and then people find this as a buying opportunity. You see a major gap up. But keep in mind, NVIDIA is rerouting orders due to some things, so they're already missing out on business over here at SMCI. Ultimately, going to affect NVIDIA. If SMCI crashes, here's what you are watching for NVIDIA. First of all, a quick move down to 135, and then next levels being 130, 175, and 130. That is ultimately what I'm watching for NVIDIA. If SMCI does well, just watch NVIDIA to finally crack back above 141, but ultimately not break back below again. I think after it breaks above 141 again and closes, now that's confirmation that we're making our way to 150, so on and so forth. Also, people in Discord have been talking about XTIA. They've been adding shares, and it just had a quick 100% pump, and now it's down 10% same day, which is just insane. Last but not least, I told you about Clove. Clove has earnings tomorrow night. I am in YOLO calls on this just for a potential squeeze play. Again, this is your own risk reward. Do your own due diligence. I don't give financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. But ultimately, that is what I got for you guys for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed watching or found value out of the video. Make sure to like the video on your way out. Subscribe to the channel. At this point, if you're not joining the Discord, and I keep telling you about it, I I'm not even upset about it. This is the deal that it's here, and it's not going to stay at this price, and you're going to be upset down the line when you realize you should have joined at the price that it's valued at right now. Ultimately, get in the Discord. I post my trades in there on the daily. We talk stocks and crypto all day long, all that good stuff. There are a ton of benefits in there. My indicators under the video, the Moomoo link where you can get up to 15 free stocks, earn 8.1% APY on your uninvested cash, and get a $30 cash reward for just signing up through my link and making a deposit into your account. So go do that. It's free. It takes 2 minutes out of your day. And last but not least, if you want to go subscribe to the second channel, we are 27 subscribers away. I will be posting vlogs, podcasts, and any behind the scenes stuff happening on there, which will be exciting because some of you know some big news that I'm doing in the background. So ultimately exciting. Go get your benefits, get your free stocks, each valued up to $2 grand per stock. And let me know in the comments down below what you think about the election. You all, Lottery Sucks out.